Hello class, welcome to the week 3 summary for our course. I hope that you are feeling satisfied with your progress. I am for the most part. As far as what you're writing about, most of you are really doing some good research and synthesizing what you read, and that's the goal of a master's program is to teach you to do that research and to understand what you're finding so that you can then go advise your leadership or your peers, whatever opportunities you have. So just want to talk a little bit first, the group project. It seems like you are progressing as far as I can tell. Just be sure that you're communicating with your group members. They're probably going to be reaching out to you every day, I would assume, or at least every other day. So be sure you check the group forum for any messages. I know that a lot of groups form a WhatsApp group, and that way you can kind of communicate, instantaneously. Again, I don't need to be in that WhatsApp group. And the other side to that is that I can't control what happens. So hopefully everything stays very polite and collegial. I recommend that you make sure that you're logging in, frequently to check to make sure that your group members are not writing you in the group forum. Okay, so I've got some things to talk about today, maybe more so just because I'm sort of seeing the same things now for 3 weeks, and I'm trying to give you feedback in the discussion forum and through your written assignment edits and in the portfolio activity. But again, I am still seeing some of the same kinds of problems. I understand that because it's only been 3 weeks, but I just want to make sure that you are really paying attention to my feedback, to that of your peers, and that you are accessing either Purdue OWL and or the Learning Resource Center so that you can get information on APA formatting. I have found a couple of cases of plagiarism this past week, so I feel like you should understand how to avoid plagiarism, but I have not submitted any reports yet because I'm dealing directly with you one-on-one. But please just try not to plagiarize. If you're not sure, you can run it through, there are a couple programs, Grammarly.com, and it's called Quetext, and I'll insert a card here to provide you the URLs for those. But they are free plagiarism checkers, so you can always use those to make sure you're not plagiarizing, because I don't want to give anybody a 0 for an assignment. Okay, so first thing, so the rule on providing a citation for common knowledge. So something that everybody basically knows. You don't have to provide a citation. So if you say, John Dewey was one of the, most prominent educational philosophers, that's common knowledge, particularly in our field. So you don't have to provide a citation by Lynch or whomever, because it's common knowledge. On the flip side of that, you might think it's common knowledge because you heard it a long time ago and you've remembered it, but maybe nobody else has, or it's not that common. So in that case, you do have to provide a citation. If there's a quote you heard when you first started teaching and you loved it, you need to cite that quote. So, for example, I was in an Army, meeting with the Secretary of the Army, and he said something, if you sign up to play in the major leagues, you can't complain when you get called to bat. And what he was saying is, if you're going to take a high level position, you're going to work a lot and you can't complain about it. Well, unfortunately, I do not remember who that was that said it. And it was 7 years ago, so the odds of me tracking down where I wrote it are slim to none. So I can't use that quote in a paper. Now I can paraphrase it, but to say that the Secretary of the Army said to me, this, I can't do that because I don't remember who it was. So that's the thing. If it's truly common knowledge and everybody, at least teachers, know it, you don't necessarily have to provide a citation. If you have a citation, go ahead and provide it. You're not going to be wrong if you do. It's just if you don't know where that information came from, but like I said, everybody knows you shouldn't hit kids, right? I don't need a citation for that. So be sure you are providing citations. That one of those cases was the plagiarism cases was just that they did not provide a citation, and that's fraud. Okay, so be really careful about what you think is common knowledge. Formal papers, which is what you're writing each week, require a title page. So about half of you in your written assignments are not providing a title page, and I keep showing you how to create a title page when I give you back your edits, and I say you have to have a title page, and it's not happening. So I'm not sure what the disconnect is. You have to have one for, like I said, a student paper. So if you're not quite sure how to do that, I feel certain that I have provided you the information in my edits, but you can also go to Purdue OWL or APA style blog, and they have sample papers where you can take a look at what that title page is supposed to look like. Remember not to include your name in the sample paper. It's going to have the author's name, but because we grade anonymously, do not put your name on the paper. And then don't use all capital letters in your title page. I've seen that with a couple people. The entire paper should be sentence case, which means capitalize, the first word in a sentence, and everything else is lowercase except proper nouns. So don't use all caps in your title page or in your headings. Detail oriented. Okay, so in your APA formatting, what I do is I provide you the correct format for whatever it is you've done incorrectly. And I understand that a lot of it is really just the comma goes inside the quotation marks and you put it outside. Little things like that. Some of the mistakes are a little bigger, and it's a matter of, I think, maybe you are not paying attention, maybe you don't know the rule, but I think what generally happens is you just kind of take for granted that you know that you're right. And I would say, it's only the third week of class, so just double check with Purdue OWL that you have cited correctly and that you have written your references, formatted your references correctly, because I still see some errors. I see you formatting a website the same that you do as you do a paper, and that's not correct. So, take some time, learn these rules, and then you're done, and you can really focus on the content. Okay. I think I've only seen this once, but in your references page, if you are using the title of the article as your reference entry, so you don't know who the author is, so you're using the title, and the title starts with THE. You do not use THE to alphabetize, so if you have a paper, the reason we don't hit children, you're going to go with the second word, R, the reason, to alphabetize. So any article, if you say a reason not to hit children, use the R. So any article, A and the, don't use for alphabetizing. Okay. Page limits. You are limited in your written assignment to generally 2 to 3 pages. That means 2 to 3 pages, not counting your title page and your references page. So you should have really between 4 or 5 to 6 or 7, depending on how many references you have. But be sure that you stay with those maximum pages. And again, what that's doing, number one, we don't want to overload your peer assessors with an 8-page paper, to grade. They've got other things to do. But secondly, it forces you to prioritize what you're telling the reader. So, I get it. There's you're doing your research and you find there's really interesting information about, say, learning theories, and you want to tell us about learning theories, but your paper's not about learning theories. That's a separate class. We don't really talk about it in this class. So don't include it in your paper, because you have 2 to 3 pages to tell us all the information that the rubric requires, and you need all your pages to do that well. So, if you only use 2 pages to tell us, everything in that writing prompt, you probably haven't elaborated enough. Maybe you have, but just be sure you're giving us complete information about the topic, and then very, very limited information about anything else, because again, the paper is supposed to be on topic, and the other information, like I say, it's very interesting, but don't include it in your paper. So that's all I had written down. In our Teams meetings, I don't have a lot of participation. I do have some both Saturday and Monday, and I appreciate that, but I think that if you can attend, if it's at all possible, I recommend you do, because we go through the assignments in detail. It gives you the opportunity to ask any questions you have and get clarification. And then, we talk about whether it's APA rules or other things that come up. So if you can attend, please do. I've tried to provide, different opportunities for you, keeping in mind that I have things to do also. So Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. UO People Time, and then Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UO People Time. If you can at all make it, please try. I do understand you have families and jobs and church and other things, so I don't take attendance, I don't take off points. It's optional, but it's in your best interest to be there, and that's why I'm trying to provide you, multiple opportunities. I'm also more than happy to meet one-on-one with you on Teams. My job is pretty flexible, so I try to make myself available at the best times for you. Okay, so with all that said, I am going on vacation Wednesday for 9 days. I'll have my computer with me, but I may be a little slower responding to you, your emails, because, I'm not sure what all I'm going to be doing during the day, but I will definitely check my email at least twice a day. I will get your portfolios graded. As far as me checking written assignment grades, I may not do that until I get back. And I can adjust your grades anytime during the term. So if, you're not happy with, a written assignment score, and it's something that I would be checking, just give me some time, because I want to grade as little as possible while I'm on vacation. That said, I'm here for you and I'm not going to ignore you. I just, may not be completely present. We will not have Teams meetings next Saturday or Monday because, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing at the times we would. So after this, so next weekend or next week, no Teams meetings, but the following Saturday we will have a Teams meeting. I'll try to make sure that the weekly email is explicit. And again, you can email me and ask me questions. I'm going to be checking that, but I'm just not going to have a Teams meeting. Okay, so with that, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope I see you tomorrow, and I'm glad you're here. So I'll see you in the course room.